So today, we're diving into this fundamental clash that's, well, it's completely redefining the global economy. You've got two powerful forces at play here. In one corner, you have the old guard, right? The world of trade deals made by governments, all shaped by tariffs and borders. And in the other corner, there's this new challenger, borderless, instant finance that's powered entirely by code. Let's break down this collision of two worlds. I want to start with just one number, $113,000. Just let that sink in for a second. What does that figure even represent? Is it, I don't know, the price of a fancy sports car? Maybe a down payment on a house? The thing is, this number tells a much, much bigger story. It's a story about radical, almost unbelievable financial change. And here it is. That's the price of a single Bitcoin today. But look at this comparison. Just 10 years ago, that very same Bitcoin was worth only $283. This jump from $283 to over $100,000, this isn't just some wild investment story. It's a financial shockwave. It's proof of how quickly technology can completely rewrite the rules of value right before our eyes. Yeah, this incredible growth, it's really a symptom of a much larger transformation that's happening. But before we dive any deeper into this wild new world, let's first take a look at the system it's challenging, the traditional world of trade that's led by governments. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the world we're all familiar with, the one run by nations, built on tariffs, and shaped by these huge high-level deals. Here's a classic tool from that world, the tariff. A government can just decide to slap a tax on imports. It's a direct lever of state power, used to protect their own industries or put pressure on another country. Think of it as a deliberate, official roadblock in the flow of commerce, a move with billion-dollar consequences that's decided by just a handful of people. But it's not all about conflict. The flip side of that coin is diplomacy. Here you see officials from the US and China sitting down negotiating a trade deal. These are those high-stakes, closed-door meetings where they try to find some common ground and forge agreements that can unlock literally trillions of dollars in global trade. And a quote like this just shows you how high the stakes really are. A few words from an official can signal a massive shift in economic policy. Getting rid of a 100% tariff, that's not just a headline. It affects businesses, jobs, what you pay for things at the store. This is a top-down system, plain and simple, where power is very, very centralized. All right, now let's pivot hard to a completely different frontier. Because while governments are busy negotiating, a parallel system is emerging. And this one isn't run by politicians. It's run by software. So to really get what's happening in this new world, we first need to understand something called a stablecoin. You've heard of the crazy volatility of Bitcoin, right? Well, a stablecoin is designed for the exact opposite, stability. It's a digital token that's pegged to a real-world asset, usually the US dollar. Think of it like a digital dollar that can just zoop around the internet instantly. And this is where it really starts to hit the mainstream. Zelle, a payment app that millions and millions of us use, is stepping into this world. By letting people use stablecoins for international payments, they are literally building a bridge between traditional banking and this new crypto frontier. This is not some niche thing for tech nerds. It's a huge leap toward mainstream adoption. So how does it actually work? Well, it's surprisingly simple. A user sends money through the app, just like they always would. But behind the scenes, those dollars are instantly converted into a stablecoin. That digital dollar then travels across the internet, completely bypassing the old-school banking system with its 3-day waits and crazy high fees, and boom, it arrives in the other person's account almost instantly. Which brings us to the core question, doesn't it? What happens when these two worlds collide? You have a top-down, government-controlled system crashing into a bottom-up, technology-driven one. So is this going to be a collision, or can they somehow learn to coexist? The contrast is just so stark. The old way, it relies on political pacts and leverage. The new way relies on code and open networks. One system is measured in months of negotiation, the other is measured in seconds of transaction time. They operate on fundamentally different principles. It's like they're from different planets. And this collision, it forces us to ask some really profound questions. In the traditional system, it's pretty clear who controls the money, governments and central banks. But in this new system, who's in charge? And if value can move freely across borders, just like an email, do those borders mean as much as they used to? And, the biggest question of all, will these two worlds figure out a way to work together? Or are they just destined to compete for the future of the entire global economy? So we've seen these two incredibly powerful forces moving in parallel. One is in the halls of government, the other is out there on the digital frontier. And it leaves us with this one critical question for the future of global commerce. Is it going to be written in the ink of trade pacts or in the ones and zeros of code?